Okay. All right, guys. This is connecting. This episode got disconnected so many times. I'm just gonna wrap it up here, say a few things, and then go start a new episode. How are we feeling about our feelings? The idea is we're feeling them. How are we feeling them? It has to do with consciousness, and it has to do with our existence, right? So physiologically, we understand what the brain is doing, but we don't understand how we are conscious. You know, guys, the reason I wanted to end the episode, I was just relocating to a different Starbucks where there's a better parking spot. And I experienced a little bit of road rage. You know what it is? Let me tell you why there is a bigger chance that the species will destroy itself before it saves itself. Let me tell you why it's easier to destroy the house of cards than in some sense build it. Human beings, they are functioning under a premise of value. When you wake up in the morning, based on how you attend to yourself, based on your style and who you are, you're preparing your state of mind. You're building yourself up. Now, throughout the day, we're living the day with a sort of value, like think of it this way, with our inner life having a sort of value, plan, strategy for the day. We're going about our day with a sort of expectation of the probabilities of the things that can happen in the day. Now, when something unexpected arises, the body automatically feels that it does not have the preparatory archetype. So the body starts feeling the adrenaline rush. Okay, anything you're not prepared for, you get overwhelmed by. So I was, oh man, I can't end it. I remember I was going into a quote tunnel. Oh, that's you know, let's look at the idea of maturity, emotional maturity and emotional immaturity. Immaturity is when the other doesn't see anything more than themselves. For example, children, they're just seeing themselves usually. They're caring for themselves. But once you care for a reality beyond you, you are also caring for the imperfections and the perfections of the reality beyond you. Do you understand? There are so many different people here that it's kind of like everybody's a different puzzle piece. It's not like these puzzle pieces can get connected. You know, it's like 8 billion individuals trying to solve 8 billion puzzles, which is how they're experiencing the world. Now, if we can pinpoint an outer puzzle, then we can somehow connect our inner puzzles, right? So my thing was like, I was thinking, okay, there's 8 billion inner lives, and there's one giant outer life. So I think it's fair to say that the human being is two beings. We are not one being. That's the confusion. We are two types of beings being one being. Just like we have two eyes that see the same. Two different dimensions of access are, the human being is engaged with. Anytime I respond angrily to a situation and then I realize there was a better way, I regret that anger. There was a time where I was like, how can I love humanity if I don't love myself? But that's when I realized that's the only thing. That's one of the only things you can love. When you don't love yourself, you can love others, you can love the world, at least. It's not going to be a good love. That means when somebody doesn't like themselves, it's very hard to like someone else, right? Because that person immediately feels like it's one-sided, The thing the youth I shouldn't say fails, but over time understands, is that first of all, every being has a presence. Once you rely on your own presence, you get to your conditioning becomes yours. So what does that mean? That means if there's a young child and the parent is taking care of it, that child is not actually understanding what it's doing. Do you understand? But in life, you require to quickly go and understand what you're doing, to understand where you are or what processes you're involved in. Me giving these talks, I'm constantly trying to understand processes more than an individualism. My own individualism, I understood it. I was like, okay, I'm an individual, I have a DNA, I'm this energy, this energetic resource, now how do I use my own energy? For what do I use it? Pretty much I've kind of figured that, okay, I'm just like a traveler. Individually, I'm a tourist in this world, right? But collectively, I have an identity with my species. Do you understand? Like, even though I do get angry at people who are rude to me intentionally or something like that, but some part of me feels that if greater challenges were here, I would instantly forgive. Why? Because the vision, think of it this way. A human being takes one step, or a species takes one step. It's just magnificent. I think all those children who saw Power Ranger cartoons when they were little, all the Power Rangers getting into their robots and then connecting all the robots, that's humanity. We're all, instead of robots, we're in our egos. You understand? The ego is like the closest thing to an invisible Iron Man suit. There's been moments where I've disliked myself, and I've disliked myself professionally disliked myself. But in those moments, the dislike isn't long-lived, because whatever opinion you have of yourself, you're left with yourself. I think I'm good, guess what? Tomorrow I'll wake up and feel a bit better. I think I'm bad, guess what? Tomorrow I'll wake up and feel less worthy. Anytime we feel we are disturbing an innate, let's say the innate peace of the presence of the moment, a part of us feels it. We feel inefficiency. Evil is inefficiency. Good is efficiency. That's how they will be. That's the morality of the future. I don't know, maybe I woke up on the wrong side of the bed today. I don't know what it is. You know, our species is a creature of value, and it fights to preserve its value, but it doesn't understand all the time what it's fighting for. We are a species that we don't need reasons to become violent. Do you understand? Like, I mean, let's say it could just be an emotion. Somebody could just feel uncomfortable. Imagine somebody sitting like under a remote control, like they're sitting on a remote control on the couch, the remote control of the TV, and they can't find, they're looking everywhere, they're not getting up. They're looking everywhere from where they're seated, and they can't find the remote, and they're like, yo man, I feel off, I'm angry, what's wrong, nothing's working, da 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 da. But they haven't realized they are mispositioned. You know, this today when I'm saying I woke up the wrong side of the bed, that could be it. I have mispositioned my subjective self to the outer realm today, you know. Or I haven't mispositioned and this is necessary, who knows. So I guess I'll end this here. This talk was pretty, you know, split up. You know, I wonder, how can the human being figure out what it deserves when it's multidimensional? Thank you for listening, guys. Namaste.